Sydney show on the form-up lap. He'll start on the inside of row number 2. It's a bit stacked at the front as Manders moves to the lead into turn number 1. Harding on around the outside here, and they'll go yellow, and that will be for the 60. Ambitious, but the front row were also slow on the uptake. And we'll try it again. Hard part is we didn't get to see a replay of Kendrick's wheel stand in turn number 1. The fans over the turn 5 bar would have got a great view of the Triple M 92.9 car aiming for the sky. That got his attention.
Absolutely. So a complete restart coming up to heat number 4. Final qualifying heat of the series. 2 twin features still to come.
The calm before the storm. Once again, the John Day pace suit pulls to the infield. Manders ready to go. Harding on the outside. We'll try it again.
Oh.
And it's stacked up again. In fact, there's cars. It's a domino effect. They are going to let this go, but for how long? There's going to be a lot of damage in the first inside rows. Will go yellow again. So a dominoes effect caused that before they came to the start line.
And Darren Mewett was the one at the back of the field who rode over a back wheel, I think, of AJ Nash in the end.
Yep.
So Mewett, is he staying out there? He is. Gee, I'd love to be listening in now to the stewards having a chat. They're sort of going up a notch with every race.
And so it should. Final heat race. And then we're going to feature, I think they all are using the head game as much as you can as a race car driver. Think about the first 30 laps. Then it's gloves off after that. I might have put the kiss of death on the first feature race, but hey, I've done that before.
They're not racing next week, so they have got a week off.
No, this is true. And there's also a full moon rising in the distance, so read what you will into that. That looks better. Just at the front. I wouldn't say it was a hugely better restart. And they'll go yellow again. And I wonder if this time we might see some swapsies at the front, perhaps.
Yes, let's have a watch and listen and see what happens from here.
I can report the stewards are getting angrier. They're right next to me here up in the commentary box. And,
you've got noise-cancelling ears too. If you can hear that, you know it's loud.
I think they might toe the line this time, though, after that one.
So that's a third false start?
Yep. And more often than not, they tend to let the races go, don't they, Jace? And at the end, they'll put them back a couple of positions, which I think's a better system.
Yeah.
This one has snuck back in over the last 12 months or so. Oh, full moons. They always do it, don't they? Just the cloud cover stays, it'll be fine. We just don't know it's there.
That's better.
7 cars, and again, Manders will lead. He's definitely the better of the 2 starters. And now Harding makes contact. Is there damage? There is. He's got to go upside down. There's a clash between he and the 11, and the Sarge heads to the infield at the same time. And now Harding makes contact. Is there damage? There is. He's got to go upside down. There's a clash between he and the 11, and the Sarge heads to the infield at the same time.
Well, that's quite a bit of damage there for Daniel Harding. He's already out of the car.
And your hearty applause is appreciated, folks. He's quick to jump out of his Adra Group 41. We go red. That's the quickest exit from a race car I've seen in a long time too, Jace. The front end was broken with the contact, and that was going through turn number 1. I thought they may have pulled that start up again, but they stayed green. But now we're red for the 41, the luckless 41 of Daniel Harding.
So just watching the replay, Daniel Harding has gone into the back. It's caused the damage, and then obviously come around and hooked the other way and tipped over. Stewards just having a look at the replay here as well. Don't get that everywhere, but you get it here.
And straight away the forklift on the job to lift the 41 up. Just trying to steer clear of everyone here while they'll try and recover the Adra Group car. They'll be hoping to get this car straight back into the pits too, guys, because they'll need every second to get this car ready for the feature race, which is not too far away. We'll be talking 3 or 4 races. He's heading this way, folks. Put your hands together now for Daniel Harding. He's walking away from the 41. Oh, man. And so it's been messy, those starts, but then you're the collateral damage now.
Yeah, it's just how it goes. The track's pretty narrow, so we're trying to fight over the same piece of land, you know. It's just how it goes. It's unfortunate. I feel for the 11 car. He didn't do anything wrong, so...
Just like everyone just stacked up, didn't they?
Yeah, we just stacked up and we were fighting for a little narrow bit of track, and it's just how it goes.
I'll let you get back to the pits because I know there's not much time here to get that ready. Put your hands together for him again. Once again, folks, Daniel Harding, that team busy repairing the 18, now have the 41, heading towards the emergency ward and onto the table for an operation before the feature race coming up very soon.
Got to go back to the 13th of January 2012 since we've had a heat race have 4 restarts without a lap being completed, and we've only got 5 cars to go around. This is take 5.
Oh, I mean, I keep useless stats, but that's one of them. That's amazing. JOB, were you having some withdrawals playing Summer of '69 for not going last night?
I was going to ask you what your favourite song from last night was.
Exactly that song you played then. You read my mind, brother. And then there were 5 on the 5th attempt for heat number 4. Pride running the boards like a boss at the start, but will miss initially, allowing AJ Nash for an opportunistic move to second maybe. It didn't happen as the Sarge goes with him down the back straight in the Wormhole Civil. Mayday Earth moving 67 into turn number 4, and Pride will move up to second place now, but your leader is Caden Manders, another guy, Jace, in championship contention.
Yeah, and he's doing all that he needs to do. Great battle for second and third between Nash and Pride. Swap spots a couple of times already, back then to Mewett in 4th and then Wormhole in 5th. So our leader comes out of 4 back down the main straight, has a handy buff over Jason Pride, does Caden Manders. Back to AJ Nash, who's dropped off, or Pride's dropped him off. In fact, Pride might actually be catching Manders somewhat. Back then to Mewett in 4th and then Wormhole in 5th.
Oh, Pride just hooked a bump in the track there at turn number 3, managed to gather it up, and his Tasman Power 14. Not making much impression on the man who wrapped up the WA Championship back in December of Caden Manders. His J&S Drilling Napa Auto Parts number 60 leads another lap here. Pride going down the main straight now. Then it's AJ Nash, Mewett and the Sarge arguing over the final position here.
So 5 down and 2.5 to go. In fact, 2 to go now. As our race leader's back with us once again. Second place is still Pride. Third place still Nash. Wormhole goes back around the outside of the 55 car of Mewett and puts him back a spot. In fact, my eyesight must be going at 6 down now. Now there's 2 to go.
White being prepared next time by for Manders, who's shutting this race down. In car 60, Pride will get some points and should get himself a nice starting spot for the second feature, the final feature of the series later tonight. Wormhole is dispatched now with Mewett as the white comes out for Caden Manders as he sets sail for home here in the final heat race.
So Caden Manders doing all that he needs to do to get those maximum points, and he's going to prevail. Comes out of 4 and crosses the line. It took a long time to get done. 5 restarts to get the first green light on the first lap done, but it's all over now, and he wins, defeating Pride, Nash, Wormhole, and back then to the 55 of Darren Mewett, the only 5 to finish, with Jason Kendrick in the 11 and the 41 of Daniel Harding already back in the pit area after a lot of contact on the 4th start, and that put them both out. So a couple of stories there, but Caden Manders, he was going so quick, Matt, the S is coming off of Manders on his wing.
Yep, the Manders, we'll have to glue that back on later on. And again, just get him up onto the scales. What a talent this guy's been. And the J&S team saw this a long time ago. I was wondering whether he'd just end up in a speed car and that would be his career. I just broke the golden rule then, Jace. I turned my back on a race car when it was coming towards me. You never do that when it's in the pits or on the racetrack. Helmet's coming off. Of the driver of car number 60, and now he can hear you folks. Put your hands together for Caden Manders, picking up the win in the final heat race. a big night for you. You wrapped up the championship in December, but now you're still in with a chance of winning the series tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. I got to say a huge thanks to the guys. We actually blew a motor at the end of our first heat, so a huge thanks to the Taylor Milling crew and everybody else who helped us change it out. It was very stressful, but we got it changed out, and now we're ready to rock and roll for the features.
Just give us an idea of how long that takes to do an engine these days, because you hear staggering numbers on how quick you can bolt one of these engines in now.
Yeah, well, we had the motor we've changed it to is a little different, so it took us a little longer than normal, but probably about 40 minutes it took us to change both engines, which is still pretty cool.
That's crazy, and if you can have the bad luck, get it done there.
That's exactly right.
So good luck for the features. You've got 2 features to get through, and maybe you'll be our champion tonight.
Yeah, I hope so. Thank you.
It's been a great season for Caden Mandis, a WA champion early this year, and Jace staring down the barrel of potentially the Maddington Toyota Series crown here tonight.